Second match, begin. Seeing the two disciples standing on the platform, the elder of the Zhang family announced and leaped off the stage. The two disciples on the platform faced each other with a sharp rivalry. Zhang Yuan narrowed his eyes, his hand on the hilt of his sword, the spiritual energy in his body subtly circulating, ready to defend at any moment. On the other hand, Wang Fenglin had a relaxed demeanor, his hand on the hilt of his saber, allowing the tip to drag on the ground as he slowly approached Zhang Yuan. Don't struggle in vain, or you will suffer. Zhang Yuan's expression remained unchanged, feigning calmness as he watched Wang Fenglin approach step by step. He tightened his grip on the sword hilt, and the sword energy began to gather. Wang Fenglin continued to close the distance but did not draw his saber. The overwhelming pressure of his 9th rank condensed ki released, and the atmosphere became tense. The spectators below held their breath, their attention fixed on the platform. Suddenly, Wang Fenglin lifted his steel saber and slashed down with a sudden, unadorned strike. Zhang Yuan's pupils dilated as he swiftly drew his sword, the gathered sword energy pouring out. He knew that the gap between him and Wang Fenglin could only be bridged through martial techniques, otherwise, he would not even last a single move. Bang! The saber and sword clashed, sparks flying. Wang Fenglin took several steps back but maintained his composure, a smile still on his face. Is this your sword drawing technique? It's far from Zhang Xiaoyuan's. Zhang Yuan's face finally showed a look of shock. At this moment, he understood the gap between him and Wang Fenglin. His all-out strike only managed to push Wang Fenglin back a few steps, causing no real damage. This was without Wang Fenglin using any martial techniques. If he did, the defeat would be just a thought away. Suyu watched the struggle on the platform, his face showing surprise. Each realm truly was a different heaven and earth, as the saying goes. Wang Fenglin wore a mocking smile, stepping forward again, his steel saber still scraping the ground. Seeing this, Zhang Yuan used the phantom step, his body quickly retreating from the spot. At the same time, he sheathed his sword, preparing to use another martial technique. However, Wang Fenglin was already in front of him, his steel saber slicing through the air. Blood splattered the platform. Zhang Yuan's body flew backward, crashing into the crowd. Several disciples were caught off guard, hit by his body, and blood stained their clothes. Several Zhang family disciples hurried forward to bandage and treat his wounds. The gash on his chest was clearly visible, exposing the bone. Zhang Yuan had already lost consciousness. Good. Wang Qixing stood up, his voice clear and his face showing joy. The other elders behind him also displayed similar expressions. On the Zhang family side, however, everyone's faces were grim, with no smiles. They had intended for Zhang Yuan to deplete some of Wang Fenglin's spiritual energy, but he was defeated as soon as he stepped up. Now, they had no chance of winning. At this moment, Suyu's brows furrowed slightly. Wang Fenglin was indeed stronger than he had imagined. Defeating him would not be easy. But no matter what, he had to give it a try. Otherwise, the Zhang family would eventually find out about his hunting of 3 of their disciples. If it were just him, he would run and hide, waiting until he had enough strength to return. But he had a sister, and he couldn't drag her into a dangerous life with no cultivation. So, he had to find a sect to protect her and ensure her safety. The Crimson Sky Sect, as one of the three major forces of the Silver Moon Dynasty, was the best choice. The elder of the Zhang family, his face dark, walked onto the platform and announced, "Second match, Wang Fenglin wins. Wang Fenglin, rest a bit to prepare for the next match." Hearing this, Wang Fenglin showed a bold expression and replied, "No need to rest, let's start now." The previous battle had consumed almost no spiritual energy, so he needed no rest. The elder was slightly taken aback but did not refuse, saying, "Next, the second round begins, Wang Fenglin versus Zhang Hongyuan." After speaking, the elder of the Zhang family stepped down from the platform, having no hope for this match. Zhang Hongyuan, his face dark, stepped onto the platform. He had no confidence in this battle. Wang Fenglin's smile did not fade as he taunted, "Zhang Hongyuan, why do you look so terrible? What's wrong?" Hearing this, Zhang Hongyuan's face became even uglier, a sense of humiliation rising in his heart. His hand gripped the sword hilt, and his spiritual energy surged. Even if he lost, he would lose with dignity. With this thought, his sword was drawn, the sword energy rising, and he lunged at Wang Fenglin. Wang Fenglin, seeing this, showed no panic, but rather a look of excitement. His steel saber hummed, and a dominant aura swept across the entire platform. Void slash. Boom! The saber and sword clashed, the broken sword fell to the ground. Zhang Hongyuan spat out a mouthful of blood, his aura withering, and he was directly thrown backward. Seeing this, Su Yu's heart tightened. It was his turn to step up next. The Zhang family members, witnessing this, felt no joy. On the other hand, the Wang family members were all laughing heartily, especially Wang Qizing, who was almost in tears of joy. His Wang family had successfully allied with the massive Crimson Sky Sect, and his name would surely be remembered for generations. Ha ha ha! The war came to an end, and a wave of discussion rippled through the crowd. Wang Fenglin truly lives up to his reputation as a 9th-ranked key condensation warrior. His strength is truly formidable. Of course, after Zhang Xiaoyuan from the Zhang family met his end at the hands of a beast, there's no one among the younger generation of the Zhang family who can match Wang Fenglin. Now, he is about to join the Chixiao Sect, becoming a disciple of the Chixiao Sect and receiving better resources for cultivation. At that time, his cultivation will surely advance at an incredible pace, and the gap between the Zhang and Wang families may widen even further. The great elder's face was stern, and his steps were heavy as he walked towards the arena. The second round, Wang Fenglin wins. I declare that in this competition, Wang Fenglin. Wait a moment. A stunned voice rang out, and immediately, all eyes were on Su Yu. Su Yu took a deep breath and then walked towards the arena. "Brother, good luck." Su Linger whispered, her eyes fixed on Su Yu. Su Yu slowly walked towards the arena under the gaze of the crowd, and the entire venue erupted in excitement. Who is this? Why is he showing up now? Is he going to challenge the winner? Isn't this Su Yu? I know him, he is a beast hunter from the Zhang family. I heard that his dantian was shattered and he was expelled from the family. How is that possible? His dantian looks fine, and he has even reached the 9th-ranked key condensation. How can he have a broken dantian? On the Zhang family side, everyone was stunned, their eyes wide and mouths mumbling. Impossible, impossible, how is this possible? His dantian was supposed to be broken. How can there be any spiritual energy fluctuations, and even reach the 9th rank Qi condensation? Even if it wasn't broken, he was only at the 6th rank Qi condensation. For him to break through 3 ranks in just a few days, this is simply impossible. The great elder of the Zhang family looked at Suyu in utter disbelief, everything exceeding his comprehension. The Wang family was also surprised, never expecting someone to step forward at such a critical moment. Who are you? How dare you disrupt the arena competition? Truly reckless and foolish. Suyu's face remained calm as he responded. I am also a resident of Fenglin City, so I naturally have the right to participate in the competition. Therefore, I want to challenge Wang Fenglin. Wang Fenglin finally recovered from his shock and looked at Suyu in disbelief, never expecting him to still be in Fenglin City. He had thought that after Suyu killed Zhang Xiaoyuan, he would have fled the city, but he was still here and even had the courage to show his face in front of the Zhang family. This level of courage was truly astonishing. Yan Zi, hearing the surrounding discussions, suddenly opened her drooping eyelids, a glint of interest in her eyes, muttering to herself. Dantian shattered, yet restored in just 3 days, breaking through 3 ranks. This is quite interesting. Ha! You are just a beast hunter. How can you be qualified to participate in the competition? Get down from there quickly. The elder of the Chixiao Sect was about to take Wang Fenglin away from Fenglin City and make him a disciple of the Chixiao Sect, elevating him to a position of great importance. At this critical moment, someone stepped forward. How could Wang Qizing not be anxious? However, a lazy voice sounded out. Since he is also a resident of Fenglin City, let him participate in the competition. The voice was not loud but could be heard by everyone. Upon hearing this, the crowd remained in place, watching the competition and starting to discuss again. Although he is a beast hunter, he is only 16 years old. Indeed, Wang Fenglin is already 17, 1 year older than Suyu, yet both are at the 9th rank Qi condensation, indicating that Suyu's talent is stronger. Unfortunately, Suyu does not have a good family background, otherwise, he might have broken through the Qi condensation realm and reached the later heaven realm. Many people in the crowd were aware of Suyu's background and felt a sense of regret for him. The Zhang family's faces turned even darker, their eyes glaring at Suyu with anger. After all, just 3 days ago, they had expelled him from the family. Now, not only had he restored his dantian, but he had also reached the 9th rank Qi condensation and appeared here to compete for the position of a Chixiao Sect disciple. If he really became a disciple of the Chixiao Sect, the Zhang family would not be far from destruction. No, absolutely cannot let him join the Chixiao Sect. With this thought in mind, Yang Heikong whispered a few words to the second elder beside him. The second elder's face was shocked, hesitated for a moment, and then left. Yang Heikong looked at the figure on the arena and felt a twinge of regret in his heart. With such talent, if he could be on our side, he would certainly be a great help in the future. Unfortunately, the enmity is already established, and he must die. The great elder also returned to the arena and announced loudly. Next, Suyu vs. Wang Fenglin. The winner will be the champion of this competition. The competition begins.